instruction on how to learn the tools of research, how to properly construct, focus, and organize a research paper. All of those skills that we work on in those courses help you.
And welcome back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey for the second game of our doubleheader tonight as the Brookdale men's basketball team square off against the Passaic County Panthers. Along with the rest of our BTV crew, my broadcast partner Brian Goudsward, I am Tim Califamo. Brookdale has won 5 games in a row. They come in here very hot. For Passaic, they just defeated Union County a couple of nights ago. A very big win for that program, so they come in here with some momentum, and this should be a very hotly contested match from the opening tip, Brian.
Well, you mentioned both teams are really trending in the right direction, especially when you look at the Jersey Blues. I think they're playing their best basketball of the season here recently, now on a 5-game winning streak. So much of the story early on in the season was Brookdale wasn't getting the results, but they were losing so many close games, so you knew they weren't far off, and they've made some corrections, and they're playing a lot better now and have started to hit their stride here in the new year.
Yeah, 4 of those 5 losses that Brookdale has, they are 7-5 on the year. The Jersey Blues came with a margin of 2 points or less. So the Jersey Blues definitely have had their fair share of close matchups this season, but nonetheless are trying to get a strong start tonight against Passaic and possibly pick up their 6th win in a row. The starting 5 for the Jersey Blues, it's Beon Wilson, DeAndre Smith, Jelani Carter, Tyler Hawkins, and Alan Ozoji. Brookdale's in the home white uniforms for Passaic. They will start with Godley Mark, Kaheem Williams, E.J. Jefferson, Jeter De Leon, and Amir Blake. It's Brookdale with possession. Tyler Hawkins, the point guard, a long 3 at the top of the key, is off the mark, and the rebound is pulled down by De Leon. Panthers in the black jerseys. From the foul line, E.J. Jefferson, it rattles out. It'll stay here with the Panthers with 19 to shoot. Our officials this evening, Jonathan Carson, Tyler Trilling, and Matt Wolski. And Hawkins knocks it out of bounds into the stands that are very heavily packed tonight inside the Collins Arena. The Lincroft Cub Scout Pack 210 was here earlier. They were helping with the pregame introductions. So nice to see all the little Cub Scouts in their uniforms decked out here in the Collins Arena. Shot clock at 13. Partially tipped up in the air, out of bounds. It'll stay here with the Panthers now with 7 to shoot. Still no score, 58 seconds into the first half. De Leon has it poked away, and that'll be a backcourt violation on the Panthers, so Brookdale basketball.
In Brookdale, you mentioned the starting lineup, which is of significance because for once they've gone with the same unit in back-to-back games. Paul Chizek has liked to cycle through a lot of different players as part of his lineup, but this might be the group that gets the job done from here on out.
DeAndre Smith. Ozoji from the corner off the back rim. Rebound controlled by E.J. Jefferson. So both teams off to a shaky start, not able to get on the board so far. DeAndre Smith guarding Mark, who drives inside, high off the window and in. And Godley Mark has his first points of the evening. And just like that, Coach Chizak will burn his first time out with 18:22 left here in the first half. So Coach Chizak, will give a shout out to him in his 29th season as head coach. This team, as I mentioned earlier, 7-5 on the year. They've won 5 straight. They're 6-5 in conference play. And they come off of a very strong win against Bergen on January 9th. They won that game 78-71. Alan Ozoji, who's in the starting lineups, had a double-double in that game, 12 points, 17 rebounds. And Jelani Carter, also one of the bigs for Brookdale, had 4 threes in that game to go along with his 22 points.
We see Paul Chizik. If he's not happy with something that he sees, it could be instant. He'll take a timeout and hope to get the troops organized.
Carter fading away from behind the three-point line. That one doesn't drop. Williams bringing the ball up the floor, double teamed in the corner. De Leon lays it in. And a flop warning on the Jersey Blues. I think that's on Beon Wilson. That's an odd call after the bucket had gone through. Again, our officials this evening, Jonathan Carson, Tyler Trilling, and Matt Wolski. Coach Chizik not too pleased with that explanation. Again, in his 29th season as head coach, has 2 national titles in his arsenal from 2013 and 2018. Trying to lead this team to a conference title as Tyler Hawkins, only in his second game this season, will go to the line for 2 shots. The foul was on Amir Blake. That's his first. So Hawkins, the 6'4" sophomore from Tinton Falls, New Jersey. Foul line shooting has not always been his strong suit, but talking to a lot of the coaching staff, Brian, they feel that Hawkins has improved greatly over his freshman season last year as he gets Brookdale on the board with a 1 foul shot completed.
And he didn't have a great shooting outing in his season debut last week, but still managed to be one of Brookdale's leading scorers in that game, posting a 20-point effort.
Yep, 20 points, 6 rebounds against Bergen for Tyler Hawkins. E.J. Jefferson, and a foul here on the floor. This will be on Brookdale. Or no, actually they'll call it on Passaic rather, an offensive foul on Kaheem Williams. That's his first and the team's second foul. Four to 1, Passaic has an early 3-point lead. Hawkins on the drive to the rim, has it denied by Amir Blake. And here come the Panthers with some momentum. The numbers going their way to the rim. De Leon couldn't finish, and a foul here underneath the basket. Now actually it'll be called a jump ball, and Brookdale will get it back by virtue of the possession arrow.
And Dave Calloway checks in, and he's kind of become a bigger part of the rotation for Brookdale in recent days. Pretty versatile player, guy who can shoot with that kind of size.
6-foot sophomore from Neptune. Smith going baseline. Beon Wilson now going the opposite direction. Shot clock down at 12. Carter straight on 3. That one too strong. Ozoji grabs the offensive board. And a foul here as Smith was held on his way to the paint. This will be on Jeter De Leon. That's his first and team foul number 3 now on the Panthers. Ozoji, again, another block, this time courtesy of Amir Blake. It'll stay here with the Jersey Blues, but Blake already has 2 blocks in these opening 3.5 minutes. Smith trying to get the ball in to Carter. Shot clock at 13. Callaway being guarded by De Leon, and a travel on Dave Callaway.
And we've talked about the turnover problems with Coach Paul Chizik at different points this season, and he feels that a good number is to be around 12 or 13 a game, which Brookdale has been above. How about that defensive play?
And just after Amir Blake had 2 blocks to open up the game, Alan Ozoji swats one away. Brookdale trying to make this possession count. Beon Wilson going to the rim, partially blocked again by Blake. And the Panthers looking to push up the floor to Mark, who lays it in. So a 6-1 Passaic County lead. Deion Wilson trying to wait for someone to come out and help him, and Smith and Williams have a collision near midcourt. This will be a foul on Kaheem Williams. That's his first. So now 4 team fouls early on here for Passaic, Brian. Brookdale's yet to pick up a foul, as Williams will check out of the game. In for him will be Usman Kanu, the 6'2 freshman.
Basically an entire new unit just came on the floor for Brookdale. 5 substitutions.
Tyrese Bryant, Tyler Hawkins, who's come back into the game, Clarence Celius, Mark Bruce, and Demir Fitch, all on the floor now for the Jersey Blues. Fitch goes around a screen into the lane. Last touched by Passaic. It'll stay here with Brookdale. Hawkins looking to inbound the ball. And it's going to be a kickball here on the Panthers. So we'll just try it all over again. Same song, second verse. Hawkins with 10 to shoot. Bruce, who's not afraid to shoot the 3. Now back over to Hawkins. Hawkins was tripped up by Kanu. Bryant drew the contact with 1 on the shot clock, and he'll go to the line.
Now good recognition by Bryant, understanding the shot clock was winding down. He makes a strong move to the basket, gets the contact, and now at the free throw line.
Foul was on E.J. Jefferson. That's his first. Team foul number 5. Brookdale still has yet to commit a personal in this first half, as Tyrese Bryant not able to hit the first attempt from the line, the 6-foot freshman from Matawan, New Jersey. 1 of the 2 from the line. And Brookdale pulls within 4, 6-2.
Brookdale yet to have a field goal better than 5 minutes in. Both of their points have come from the free throw line.
Jefferson doesn't get the bounce. Blake with the offensive rebound. That one doesn't go. Still fighting for it, and Celius finally able to clear it for the Jersey Blues. Dangerous pass there by Bruce. Last touched by Kanu. Hawkins being guarded now by Kanu. And that's going to be a walk on Mark Bruce. You hear Anthony Virgil shouting out some instructions from the sidelines in his 10th season at the helm for the Panthers. Talked to him pregame. He's excited about the opportunity, but keep in mind, Passaic is playing this game without arguably their best player, Gabe Silvera, who ironically enough is Anthony Virgil's cousin, as there you see Coach Virgil on the sidelines. Gabe Silvera, his cousin, out for 1 game. He averages just under 19 points a game, so Panthers will be trying to go it without him tonight. De Leon put it on the floor, got it back. Mark over to Jefferson, counted and 1 for E.J. Jefferson.
Yeah, and one thing that stands out for Passaic early in this game, much as was the case in the women's game, the Passaic team just does a good job sharing the basketball. Good ball movement, finding the open teammate. That time Jefferson in a position to succeed, and now trying to add from the line.
Jefferson completes the 3-point play. The foul was on Demir Fitch. That's his first. And Brookdale surprisingly finds themselves down by 7 in their home arena. And this will be a moving screen on Clarence Celius.
Now we've seen, though, when Brookdale has had their struggles, it typically seems to come early in games. It takes them some time to find their footing, and then once they find it, usually after they get the rhythm in transition, getting turnovers, then we start to see their best basketball.
Canoe with a straight-on three knocks it down after going around the screen, and the Panthers now have a double-digit lead at 10. And another whistle here. This will be on Passaic. And they'll hit Usman Canoe with his first, the 6th team foul now on Passaic. So they are one away from the bonus. As 4 different players now check back onto the floor for the Jersey Blues. The original starting 5 on the court now. Smith, Ozoji, Carter, and Wilson all checked in. Smith with a fadeaway. Carter, the offensive rebound, had it blocked away from behind. Still fighting for it. Wilson is fouled.
Well, good persistence from the Jersey Blues that time, as they would not be denied, getting numerous offensive rebounds right near the basket, and now trying to add more points at the free throw line.
So Beon Wilson, the 6'7" freshman from Jersey City, has the first attempt from the line rattle out. Wilson actually this year has struggled mightily from the foul line, only shooting 41%. It's not been his strong suit. He gets 1 of the 2. And Brookdale still, you mentioned it a moment ago, Brian, nearly 7 minutes into the game now, still does not have a field goal. De Leon. Canoe thought about a 3, now goes right at Wilson. Kicks it out to De Leon. A fadeaway from the left arc is off the mark. Hawkins into the corner for Carter. Ran right into Usman Canoe and an offensive foul on Jelani Carter.
Yeah, and I don't really know that Canoe was set there to take the charge. It looked like he kind of went down sideways. I don't think Paul Chizek is overly in love with that call.
And he just got assessed a warning on the bench. It's the first foul on Jelani Carter. Been a frustrating start for the Jersey Blues so far. Mark nearly got away with an extra step. In fact, he may have. Brookdale can't track down the rebound, and Jefferson can't lay it in underneath the basket. Tip-up doesn't go, and Carter secures the rebound. What a wacky possession there for Passaic. Brookdale's able to clear it. Carter from the corner for 3. He got it.
Well, that's typically a good solution when Brookdale is struggling for offense, to let Jelani Carter find his spot behind the arc, and he has done that from the start of the season all the way through.
And a turnover there will give the ball back to the Jersey Blues. But Carter ended nearly an 8-minute drought where Brookdale did not have a field goal. They're down by 6. And a traveling violation on Beon Wilson. Kaheem Williams and number 23, Brian Caraballo, check back into the game. Caraballo actually will check in for the first time. Williams was in the starting lineup, so he'll head back onto the floor as Amir Blake and Jeter De Leon hit the bench. Canoe triple teamed and a foul. We'll see who they assess this on. This will be on Beon Wilson. That's his first. And Brookdale now their 4th team foul. So both teams running into some foul trouble. Still in the opening minutes of the first half. Here's Mark, tried to dump it inside to Williams. It's taken away. Beon Wilson with the 2-hand slam at the other end.
Much to the delight of this crowd, and we've seen Wilson, he can fall in love with trying to rock the rim at times.
Going right at the rim and making some contact there was Kaiheem Williams. He makes it count in the paint. And the Panthers lead 14-8. Carter, another three. He got it again.
It's just such a smooth stroke that he has, almost effortless, as he releases the ball from that kind of distance. Impressive to watch.
It's the 26th made three for Jelani Carter, and Brookdale is within three. And a turnover. Ozoji picks it up, going right at Canoe. He bobbled it, and he traveled.
He just never really had a handle on it, and once he got any kind of one, he wasn't dribbling, and thus the turnover.
Let's take another look at this is actually the slam dunk by Beon Wilson, rather. Brookdale, though, with the momentum. They have closed within three. Williams being guarded by Carter. Canoe with a ball fake. Williams from the foul line and drains it. (16-11), Panthers in front. Carter, NBA range three, this time a little bit too fancy, and the rebound is tracked down by Mark. Mark going to the rim and gets the layup to go.
Boy, what a move by Mark. He just would not be denied, going through the teeth of the Brookdale defense and the tough finish in traffic.
And just like that, now Passaic goes on a run. They're back up by 7. Tyler Hawkins, though, knocks down the three from the right arc.
It's always nice when you have an atmosphere like this at the Collins Arena. It just adds so much more intensity to the game, and always fun when these two teams match up.
It is a packed house here in the Collins Arena tonight. I mentioned the Lincroft Cub Scouts here tonight. They drew a nice amount of people as a result. And plenty of other Jersey Blues fans that have turned out, along with some Passaic County fans that have traveled very well. Beon Wilson in transition. May have had it partially blocked, and it'll stay here with Brookdale as Dave Calloway checks back into the game. DeAndre Smith will take a breather on the bench. So 8:41 to play here in the first half. Passaic leads 18-14. It's Hawkins, Calloway, Ozoji, Wilson, and Carter on the floor for the Jersey Blues. Here's Wilson. A reverse layup goes after he gets around Kaiheem Williams. Godley Mark being guarded by Dave Calloway. Here's Canoe, lost it off his foot. And Calloway now bringing up the ball for the Jersey Blues. Here's Hawkins in the lane, and he traveled. Mark Bruce comes into the game as Beon Wilson heads out. Tyrese Bryant also comes in this time for Tyler Hawkins. So Brookdale substituting early and often here in this first half. Brian Carlaballo also checked into the game for Passaic on that last buzzer. He's being guarded by Alan Ozoji at the foul line. Williams going baseline. Calloway may have gotten away with a flop. Canoe a three, too strong. Kept alive here, though, by the Panthers. Downstairs all alone, and the easy layup goes to Williams. Passaic leads by 4. Carter off the front rim, no. Rebound Mark. Mark goes right around Bryant, who may have gotten hit right at the knee, and he is down. think Mark, as he was going around Tyrese Bryant, made kneecap-to-kneecap contact with Tyrese Bryant. And that definitely is difficult to shake off. He pops back up and will go back to the bench under his own power, so he appears to be all right. And now a timeout will be taken by Anthony Virgil. It's a full timeout on the floor with 7:07 to play here in the first half. Passaic leads 20-16. We'll be back to the Collins Arena on Brookdale TV after this.
Hi, I'm Dan Lees from the Speech Communication Department at Brookdale Community College. I welcome you to come and explore Brookdale and see all that we have to offer. In the Speech Communication Department, we teach courses in public speaking, interpersonal communication, and small group communication. For me, college was a life-changing experience. I never looked at the world the same way after my time in college. And I think Brookdale will offer you that same kind of life-changing experience. Not only will you enjoy yourself at Brookdale and have a good time, but you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to take those skills out into the world and apply them in your work field, whatever it may be. So join us at Brookdale. You might find it changes your life.
Hi, I'm Laura McCullough, and I'm an associate.
Back here on the Robert J. Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey, on the campus of Brookdale Community College. Alongside Brian Gounsford, I'm Tim Catalfamo. Tonight on Brookdale Television, Passaic and the Jersey Blues in a conference matchup tonight. I mentioned earlier in the game, Brookdale has won 5 straight. Passaic trying to build on the momentum that they have after taking down Union the other night. And out of that timeout, a turnover as Canoe throws it away. Passaic is a team, Brian, that overall averages around 22 fouls a game. They need to be careful not to get into foul trouble. We saw them pick up a lot of fouls early on, but they've been fairly smart the last couple of minutes. It has not been an issue at this point so far.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Brookdale's been racking up the fouls lately now with 4 of them.
Bruce, straight on 3, and before that a whistle and a travel. Several traveling violations on the Jersey Blues in this first half. And I think Brookdale is lucky to be only down by 4 right now.
Yeah, and there was a bigger deficit in the early part of the half. They got going once they found the stroke from 3-point range, but Passaic has played a strong half.
Canoe, a step back underneath the basket. Caraballo couldn't finish. Ozoji nearly slipped. And Brookdale wisely will try to set something up here. Down by 4, approaching 6 minutes left here in the first. Bruce from downtown. Too strong. Rebound DJ McFarland, who also checked into the game for Passaic. Williams blocked away. Who touched it last? Passaic basketball. DeAndre Smith, Demir Fitch, and Beon Wilson step onto the floor as Callaway, Ozoji, and Mark go to the bench. Here's Williams after the feed from Mark. Counted and 1 for Kaheem Williams. Foul is on Beon Wilson. That's his second. And now that's Brookdale's 5th team foul, and it will send Kaheem Williams, the 6'4 freshman from Newark, to the line. Averages around 14 points a game and has amassed well over 200 points total this season. Puts Passaic County up 23-16. Alan Ozoji is back on the floor as Beon Wilson, who just picked up his 2nd foul, is on the bench. Hawkins had it stripped away as he was in the lane. And here comes Williams in transition to Canoe. Jefferson, everybody touching it on that possession, and De Leon lays it in along the low block.
So now a run here gone on by the Panthers to stretch the lead back to 9.
Brookdale needs a basket. Ozoji is fouled.
Nice two-man game action there with Carter finding Ozoji in stride and now at the line.
So the foul is on Godley Mark. That is his first, and now team foul number 8 on the Panthers as Alan Ozoji, the 6'8 freshman from Union, at the line. And the scouting report for Ozoji tells you that he's a great post player inside, but we have really seen his versatility. He can play a multitude of different positions because of that size, as he can't hit the first attempt from the line.
Yeah, and he's really been a key player for Brookdale, a guy who both scores and rebounds for this team.
Brookdale, though, not helping their cause as Ozoji misses both from the foul line. Jersey Blues as a team only shooting 54% as De Leon turns it over there. Give the ball back to Brookdale. And with 5 minutes left, Brian, you have to assume being down by 9, you need something going into the locker room to give you some momentum in the second half.
Yeah, and we'll see where the ball ends up with. Carter's typically a good one to start with, especially if he's open from behind the three-point line.
Hawkins looking to go somewhere with it. Here's Fitch, goes over Canoe, and an offensive foul again. It's a second charge that Usman Canoe has taken, and it's the second foul on Demir Fitch. Brookdale struggling to get the ball inside of the lane as Passaic has done a really nice job sliding over and securing up that post area. Here's E.J. Jefferson working it against Hawkins, had it stripped away. Jefferson threw it up there, and the rebound to Carter. DeAndre Smith. Hawkins from downtown. He got it.
And that's his second from three-point range, so he and Carter have contributed nicely from behind the arc.
Coming off of a 20-point affair against Bergen on January 9th. Remember, this is Hawkins' second game this season. Jefferson, a runner in the lane, doesn't fall. Smith going all the way to the rim, had it blocked away from behind. And Williams now takes it away, and here comes Passaic the other direction. Fitch comes up with it. Back and forth we go. Carter lost it. Threw it over to Smith, who lays it in.
Yeah, nice job by Carter there, because once he picked up the basketball, he was defended heavily. So a nice hook pass right around the defender for the easy basket.
And a mini 5-0 run for the Jersey Blues. They're within 4. Williams threw it away. Hawkins at Canoe. He's laying it in.
Canoe did well there defensively to lay off Hawkins and not allow him an extra attempt at the free throw line to make it a three-point play.
2-point game. De Leon had it poked away. It'll stay here with the Panthers as Mark Bruce now will check into the game. And Amir Blake, someone that was in the starting rotation, the 6'7 sophomore, checks back into the game for the Panthers after picking up some foul trouble early on. De Leon. Now to Williams, who's had the hot hand as of late. Takes the three over Carter. It's an air ball. Hawkins in transition. Smith, we're tied up at 25. And a timeout taken by Passaic as Brookdale has gone on a run. Hawkins to Smith. And just like that, the Jersey Blues have gone on that spurt that we were just talking about a moment ago that they needed to go on towards the end of the first half. Started with that three from Tyler Hawkins, then a couple of nice baskets, and then that one in transition most recently. shows you how quickly Brookdale can score if given the opportunity.
Yeah, and scoring in a lot of different ways. Just a couple minutes ago, seemingly, it was a 9-point hole that Brookdale was in. It was 25-16, but they're one of those teams that because they move the ball so fast on offense, they can have these spurts where they score a lot of points in a very short period of time.
It's a 9-0 run for the Jersey Blues. See if Passaic has an answer out of this timeout. Godley Mark will walk the basketball up, being tightly defended there by DeAndre Smith. And Mark lost it. Hawkins to Carter in transition, high off the window, no. Ozoji grabbed the rebound, but he couldn't finish, and a foul to add insult to injury on Jelani Carter from behind. And because that is the 7th team foul in the Jersey Blues, this will be a 1-and-1 for Passaic with Amir Blake at the line. And that is the 2nd personal foul now on Jelani Carter. And Blake doesn't get the bounce. Hawkins got another 3. And Brookdale regains the lead, 28-25.
Boy, what a first half for Hawkins. It hasn't taken him long to find the stroke from three-point range. He has been phenomenal from that distance.
A nice behind-the-back pass from Williams to Amir Blake, who lays it in. And Passaic answers that Hawkins 3. .15 to shoot. Smith, jumper from the foul line. Brookdale back in front by 3. Canoe right at Mark Bruce, and a foul before the shot. This could be on Mark Bruce or Jelani Carter. Looks like they'll call it instead on Mark Bruce. If it was on Carter, it would have been his 3rd. And that is indeed the first personal foul charged to Bruce, the 8th team foul now on Brookdale. Usman Canoe, who hasn't seen a whole lot of playing time this year, but obviously has the talent to be able to contribute nicely for the Panthers, hits the first from the line. The 6'2 freshman from Prospect Park, New Jersey. Short on the second attempt. Still a 2-point lead for Brookdale, and Hawkins quickly up the floor. Goes around Canoe, right at Blake, and Hawkins is able to adjust and put it in. What a first half this has been. Canoe dumps it downstairs to Blake. Great patience, and he gets rewarded. Off the window and in for Amir Blake. .18 seconds on the shot clock, 35 on the game clock. Smith trying to direct traffic, calls out a screen, takes it himself, and scoops it in with a one-hand layup. Now the shot clock is turned off. I don't think Passaic is going to wait till the final shot. And what is this going to be called here? Brookdale was on the baseline, I believe, after the shot was blocked. So 18 seconds for Passaic. We'll see if they use all of that time. Shot clock is turned off. Williams, back to Blake, rejected. Both Fitch and Ozoji got a hand on that. 3 seconds to go. Smith at the horn. That one doesn't fall, and that will bring us to the end of the first half. An electric first half it has definitely been for the Jersey Blues. They lead by 4, 34-30. And certainly the Jersey Blues able to look very strong coming out of the gate. Again, this is a team, as I mentioned, comes in here with a lot of momentum. Give Passaic credit. They played very good as well, but it does seem like the Jersey Blues have the momentum going into the locker room at this point at the end of the first half.
Well, I think you used the word electric, and I think that was a good one. I mean, the pace was great in this game. Both teams moving the ball up and down the floor, executing well on the offensive end. It took Brookdale a little bit of time to get settled into this game, but once they did, they found a rhythm, and it was from behind the arc. The performances by Hawkins and Carter really led the charge for the Jersey Blues. They got the lead, and they hope they will never relinquish it, but it was impressive to start slow and then see what they're capable of.
Jersey Blues looking for their 6th win in a row for Passaic. They have not beaten the Jersey Blues in this building in over 7 years, so they're trying to end that streak tonight. We'll see how the second half plays out. Jersey Blues in front by 4. We'll take a break on BTV and come back for the second half live from the Collins Arena tonight after this.
Hello.
Okay.
My name is Jack Ryan, and I teach English at Brookdale Community College. The mask that I'm wearing here is simply a prop that I use in my American Lit 1 class when I teach Edgar Allan Poe's short story, The Cask of Amontillado. In that short story, Poe utilizes masks both literally and metaphorically. And literature classes are meant to help students to analyze difficult texts, to break them down, and to understand what is really going on, not just explicitly, but implicitly as well, to read between the lines. That skill translates to any discipline, as do the skills that we teach in our writing courses, where we give you instruction on how to learn the tools of research, how to properly construct, focus, and organize a research paper. All of those skills that we work on in those courses help you, the student, to be a better student, to be more appropriately employable, and to enjoy literature, film, poetry, any kind of resource that you might be interested in. Even listening to the radio and the lyrics on the songs that you hear on your typical FM station or iPod. We at Brookdale's English department hope that you can contact us and look for the appropriate courses that work for your vision of what your life will be. And we hope that you do that as soon as you can. And if you want to contact Jack Ryan, just look up J. Ryan on the English page and you'll find me, and I would be glad to tell you what I know and learned in my 45 years at Brookdale Community College.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Moshberger. I'm professor of political science. I co-chair honors at Brookdale. I also advise our History and Political Science Club as well as our Conquer Cancer Club. Education is truly important to me because I believe that education is empowering. And by receiving an excellent education, we offer doors of opportunities for ourselves and for our families. I seek to empower my students to be active and effective participants in our political process. You see, my course and all my courses in political science aren't just classes. They're about our lives. And while most students, are never expected to enroll in a political science course, I believe strongly that everybody should, because this stuff has real-world implications. It's all around us. It truly affects all of us. So political science is perhaps one of the most important disciplines that students should possibly take some classes in. In terms of my teaching style, I like to employ a multimodal approach, and that means I like to diversify instruction in order to reach all different types of learners. And by having students really get immersed in their educational experience, it makes it much more meaningful and much easier for them to assimilate knowledge. And so therefore I have my classes highly interactive and very participatory, and students really seem to enjoy that. Now, why I came to Brookdale? Well, actually I got my start at Brookdale, and I love this place so much. In fact, I even met my wife in the Honor Society. It's been a profound experience. I was president of Alpha Pi Theta, which is Brookdale's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa. I even got to deliver the graduation speech. And My time here was really thoroughly enjoyable. I had a wonderful experience. I had outstanding professors, and I always knew that I wanted to come back and give back, and hopefully that's what I'm doing now, paying it forward to future generations. And I mean, to me, education is just, you know, such a wonderful field. And maybe the most important aspect of this is a chance for me to make a positive difference in the lives of others. And I hope that's been what I've been able to achieve during my time here.
I've been here for 2 years, a number of years at night working as an adjunct. I have a master's degree in industrial education. My ASEs have been valid for about 25 years. I'm a fully certified master technician, which enables me to teach any number of the courses here. I teach everything from brakes to automatic transmissions. My desire to be at Brookdale is got a lot to do with my experience at the high school and sending kids here and seeing them perform and come out to work. Our program teaches them all 8 areas of the ASEs. It's a 2-year program, and it really solves the problem of parents wanting kids to have a college education, and the kids want to work with their hands. So they come out with a 2-year degree. Their program will lead them to a number of different places. Could be the General Motors dealership if they're part of our GM program. May be part of a Toyota program. They can go work for an independent, for example, Firestone or Goodyear. They can go into business for themselves. Many students get their start here at Brookdale and go to a 4-year college. I have a young lady in class now who's indicated that she's interested in automotive engineering, and she's completing a brakes class, currently completed an electricity electronics class with me, and is looking at taking one of her ASCs this coming Saturday. We have a number of successful students. In fact, as you take your car to the dealer, probably pretty much anywhere in Middlesex, Ocean, and Monmouth County, your car should probably be in service by a Brookdale graduate.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jim Crowder. I'm a professor here in the biology department at Brookdale Community College. I teach general biology, I teach life sciences, I teach anatomy and physiology 1 and 2. I came here to Brookdale because Brookdale is an institution where the faculty focus on teaching rather than research. That's what I wanted my focus to be as a professor, on the student, where I think frankly it should be. When I tell people what I do for a living, and I tell them I teach, and they ask me, "What do you teach?" And then I tell them I teach biology. I, sometimes get a face as if, to say, "Oh, well, that's unfortunate," or, "Oh, I don't know if I can speak to this man anymore. I don't know if we're on the same wavelength." I get people ask me all the time, "Why would you study biology? Why would anybody study biology?" And my perhaps too short answer is, well, biology is the study of life. You're alive. Why wouldn't you want to know how all this works? Why wouldn't you want to know what it is to be alive? At even the mechanistic level. Don't you like knowing how things work? Wouldn't you like to know how you work? How could you say no?
Hi, I'm Laura McCullough, and I'm an associate professor of English in the Humanities Institute here at Brookdale Community College. I'm also a writer, I'm a poet, and an editor. I have a number of books out, and I work my butt off writing and teaching. Some of the things that we teach in the creative writing program here are a mixed genre creative writing class. It's an introductory class. We teach poetry, fiction, creative nonfiction, and screenwriting. There are 2 reasons to take classes in creative writing here at Brookdale, and the first is easy. If you want to be a writer, we can help you figure out an educational and career path to do what you love and what you're talented at. But the other reason is because creative writing is about tapping into your imagination. It's about finding the creative person inside of yourself, and you don't have to be a writer to take creative writing. The number 1 attribute that businesses and organizations need and want today is thinking creatively, looking at a problem and not saying it's either this or that, but finding a third way. So creative writing classes will help you to think more creatively. It'll also help you to be more empathic, to understand yourself better, and to understand your place in a very changing, complex world. We love our creative writing students here. We work with them in class and out. And if you're at all interested in tapping into your creativity or finding out what kind of writer you are, come and take one of our classes or email one of us. The creative writing faculty here are all active writers, and we'd love to hear from you.
My name is Barbara Burke. I've been a full-time faculty member in the nursing department since 2001 and a nurse for many years before that. When I think about education, I think about opening doors for students. It certainly opened many doors for me. It opens doors to new experiences, meeting new people, having fresh perspectives on things, and having more career options. When I think about Brookdale, I think about an innovative learning environment. And no place is that more apparent than here in the Nursing Skills Lab. Here in the Skills Lab, we take care of patients. We have simulated experiences for our students that are very close to what they would experience in the hospital or other environments. They take care of patients, and they get to problem solve and think critically through situations and work together to take care of these patients. So if you come to Brookdale, I think you'll have a great education in an innovative environment that allows for you to be engaged in learning and to be able to be a nurse of the future, because you'll be able to critically think through many situations.
Hello, my name is Bonnie Ross, and I am a nursing faculty member and department chair at Brookdale Community College. I have been with the college since 2002. I started as a clinical adjunct, and then I became a full-time faculty member in 2008. We have a thriving nursing program. We have about over 450 students currently. We admit students twice a year in fall semester and spring semester. Our students graduate the program with an associate's in applied science and nursing, and they're eligible to take their RN boards when they graduate. Many of our students go on to four-year colleges. They easily transition. Most of the schools accept all nursing courses and required courses as well. What makes us special and what makes us stand out different from other schools, and why should you come here? Well, if you ask the students, they're going to tell you it's because we care. We have a very supportive and caring faculty. I'm very proud to say that we've been designated a Center of Excellence since 2009. Our faculty, most of us are certified nurse educators. They respect our students with their diverse needs and their diverse opinions. If you ask a student from the first day that they come into the program, they feel cared about and supported. The other part that I think that students feel supported by are each other. We have a very strong Student Nurses Association. The students spend time going to orientations during the first day of school. They spend time having meetings with outside speakers, and they also have a very successful peer tutoring program. So all in all, I encourage you to consider nursing or something in health science, and if you do, just go back to the Brookdale webpage. You can type in nursing, and hopefully we can answer some of your questions. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Dr. Terry Kahn. I am the program director here for the Radiologic Technology program, and I'm a faculty in the Public Health program. I have worked in healthcare for over 30 years, and I've been teaching 26 years. 19 years has been here at Brookdale. I have loved every moment that I've been here at Brookdale. It is a great learning environment. In addition to teaching, I'm very active on campus. I am a club advisor for the Radiologic Technology program and a club called Students for Global Citizenship. I am a member of the International Center Advisory Committee and a co-founder of a project called Global Citizenship. There's a new initiative on campus called Global Distinction, whereby students can engage in curricular and co-curricular activities on global issues and be specially recognized at graduation. The Radiologic Technology program is not just a program. It is a life-changing experience. Students come to the program with no knowledge and skills, and throughout the 2 years, they're transformed. they're ready to work upon graduation. Graduates can work in hospitals, physician practices, imaging centers, operating rooms. There is
And welcome back inside the Robert J. Collins Arena. Second half just about to get underway. Alongside my broadcast partner, Brian Goudsworth, I am Tim Califamo. Brookdale leads by 4. And as we talked about at the end of the first half, Brian, Jersey Blues definitely have the momentum on their side. Passaic, though, do not count them out. They have shown the ability to score quickly. They just need to get a couple things to go their way in the second half.
Yeah, both teams really executed well on the offensive end. And for Brookdale, they got going once they got going from behind the three-point line. And Tyler Hawkins shouldering a lot of the load offensively for the Jersey Blues. He's quickly becoming an integral part of this team in only his second game of the year.
Passaic opens up with De Leon, Mark, Williams, E.J. Jefferson, and Amir Blake on the floor. Hawkins, Smith, Beon Wilson, Ozoji, and Carter for the Jersey Blues. Looked like Carter was going to go all the way to the rim, and now a walk is called on Tyler Hawkins. So the same starting 5 for both teams to open up the second half. And speaking of Tyler Hawkins, definitely had a lot of momentum in the first half. Certainly his play was very impressive, had those threes that we were talking about, Brian, and really started to play very well towards the late stages of the first half that kind of spurred on that run. Remember, Brookdale was at one point down 25-16 as Jefferson knocks in a nice jumper from along the baseline.
Yeah, and Hawkins very much keeps things under control, allows Brookdale to have another ball handler, move the offense, move the ball around, and the offense runs a lot smoother as a result.
Panthers within 2, 34-32. Hawkins around a screen to the rim. Bucket and the foul for Tyler Hawkins. Foul on Amir Blake, that's his second personal, and now the first team foul in the second half charged to the Panthers as Hawkins can't get the extra foul shot to go from the line, and Brookdale's woes at the charity stripe continue. They lead by 4. Jefferson posting up at the foul line with a hand in his face. It rims out. Kept alive by Williams. Throws it up there and in. Kaheem Williams, averaging around 14 points a game, has 44 offensive rebounds coming into tonight. He had one there, and he brings the Panthers to within 2. Backdoor to Beon Wilson. He can't finish with the reverse layup.
Well, it was a nice cut by Wilson, but an even better find from Ozoji, showing great finish. Unfortunately, Wilson couldn't finish it.
De Leon from the corner, and a whistle. This will be on Brookdale. The question is on whom? It's the first team foul on the Jersey Blues, and it's charged to Alan Ozoji. That's his first. Fresh 20 for Passaic. Lob in the Blake, going right at Ozoji. May have been partially blocked by the freshman. Kept alive here. Williams put it on the floor. But he's able to recover. Shot clock again resets here for Passaic. De Leon lost it, and Ozoji finally able to rip it away. Brookdale trying to run a play here. Up by 2. Ozoji the high screen. Feed goes into Ozoji. And another walk. We've seen a lot of that tonight, Brian. Brookdale turning the ball over, shooting themselves in the foot, really, with all these traveling violations, not doing themselves any favors.
And that's kind of when they get themselves into trouble. They're at their best when they're creating off turnovers by the opposition. That's when they really get things going on the offensive side.
Brookdale averages 19 turnovers a game. A turnover there as Blake lost it, trying to body up against Ozoji. And Hawkins now at the point. Will give it off to Carter. Hawkins at De Leon. Ozoji from the foul line left it short. Blake scoops it up. Williams batted out of bounds there by Carter. 23 to shoot here for the Panthers. Talked about the talent on the Passaic County side of the ball. Godley Mark, Kaheem Williams, all average over 14 points a game. And remember, Passaic is competing with Brookdale tonight without their best player, Gabe Silvera, who averages around 19 a game. He is not active tonight. So the Panthers a man down, if you will, as Jeter De Leon will go to the foul line. Foul is on Jelani Carter. That's his third. De Leon rims out in the first attempt. 6'2 freshman from Newark put up 20 points in a win over Cumberland on December the 7th. Standing at the foul line in those bright neon shoes. One of the two for De Leon. And it's a 1-point game. And I feel like we talk about this every year, Brian, but it seems like every time Brookdale plays Passaic, regardless of what type of season each team is having, it's always close, and I'm not really sure why. It's just always a close game that goes back and forth.
Yeah, nice move there by Hawkins on the up and under, but there's just certain matchups that just have an extra buzz, an extra sizzle to them, and one of them is when Passaic visits the Collins Arena. Another we'll see tomorrow when Middlesex comes in.
Yeah, part of a doubleheader in 2 days as E.J. Jefferson along the low block, able to put it in. Fitch to Ozoji. Gets around Blake and is fouled.
Ozoji looking for the monster finish as he tried reverse style. That would have been awfully difficult, but he does get a foul out of it.
Certainly would have been impressive. And the foul is on, as I mentioned, Amir Blake. That's his third personal. So Jelani Carter, who is currently on the bench for Brookdale, has got 3. And now Amir Blake, one of the bigs for the Panthers, has picked up his third foul. Checking in for Blake will be number 23, Brian Caraballo. And Allen will get one more from the line. Double figures in 5 straight games for Ozoji. And remember, he's coming off of that great performance against Bergen, where he had 12 points, 17 rebounds, a double-double. Williams is bumped by Beon Wilson. No call there. And the feed inside to E.J. Jefferson is taken away by Ozoji. And now he throws it away. Mark is fouled from behind, and they're going to call an intentional foul on Tyler Hawkins. Wow. It's a foul, Brian, but I'm not sure if I felt that was an intentional foul, unless the officials have changed it. No, they're going to remain with the original call on the floor, which is an intentional foul.
Yeah, that was a good read by you. I'm not exactly sure what the indication the officials give is for an intentional foul, but Brookdale catches a break as Mark misses on the first one. Of course, Passaic will remain with possession after these attempts.
Mark, one of the two, and as Brian mentioned, they'll get the ball back. It's only the first foul on Tyler Hawkins, the third on the team. Unless Hawkins grabbed the jersey of Mark, which I did not see. But nonetheless, it'll be Passaic basketball down by 2. Smith right on Mark. And it's deflected, loose on the floor. De Leon scoops it up the deck. Inside to Mark. Tried the ball fake 2 different times, and it's knocked around and finally taken away by Tyler Hawkins. And Hawkins this time is bumped way before he got to the lane. This will be on Caraballo, and that's his first. Clarence Celius is on the floor now for the Jersey Blues, along with Demir Fitch, as Brookdale continues to rotate their players. Along with Usman Kanu on the side for Passaic. Had a very nice first half. Hawkins being hounded by De Leon. Wilson may have been blocked away. Celia saves it. Hawkins again, another three.
And Hawkins looks out at the crowd after drilling that three-pointer in what has to be at least his fifth from long range in the ball game.
It's a 5-point game. Panthers looking to try to answer it here. De Leon runs into Smith. Loose ball picked up by Smith. And on the break, here comes Fitch to Celius, an offensive foul.
Paul Chizek arguing the call as he thought it should have been a block.
Way. Kanu, a long three. Left it short. It didn't hit the rim. Shot clock now does reset. Jefferson gets the roll. And the Panthers are back within 3. Smith, a floater in the lane, is able to drop for DeAndre Smith.
All right, just nice one-on-one basketball there. Smith taking it himself, penetrating into the paint, and the nice finish.
Brookdale again leads by 5. Williams poked away by Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins couldn't get the ball stolen away by Williams, and instead he finishes at the other end. As we take a look at this replay, a whistle on the floor. As I believe either Passaic called a timeout or they were trying to sub. And now I guess I'm not really sure what the call was. There was a whistle as if Passaic had called a timeout. Brookdale headed to the bench like it was going to be a full timeout, but we play on. And now a whistle here. This will be on DeAndre Smith. Making contact beyond the three-point line. Mark Bruce checks into the game. And for Smith, that's his first foul. Team foul number 5 on the Jersey Blues. Kanu tried to feed it over to Jefferson, and Hawkins again, 1-on-2. Can't get the roll, but he'll go to the line. My goodness, has Tyler Hawkins been all over the floor tonight.
It's been an impressive game. That makes 2 in a row to start, to start his season. And now I think we're going to get what you call an actual timeout.
Foul was on Jeter De Leon. It's his 3rd personal foul, and the 4th on Passaic. It's a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here on Brookdale TV. It'll give us a chance to talk about Passaic a little bit. I mentioned Anthony Virgil in his 10th season as head coach at Passaic. This is a team that comes into this game, Brian, averaging 18 offensive rebounds a game, 12 forced turnovers. And I mentioned the trouble with fouls. They average around 22 personal fouls a game. They need to be very careful they don't fall in the foul trouble. Hasn't affected them thus far, but that has been an issue for them this year. Brookdale is not immune from that either. They've had plenty of issues with fouls at different times this year, but it does appear that Brookdale's just outplaying the Panthers on both ends of the floor at this point. As the officials trying to sort out everything. Mark Bruce, who just checked in, is now going to check back out as Beyond Wilson heads into the game. And again, Tyler Hawkins at the line for 2. One thing that we mentioned earlier, Brookdale has struggled with has been foul shooting. It has not been a strong suit of this team this year. Mentioned the close losses that they've had. They've had 4 close losses. Of the 5 games that they've lost, 4 of them have been decided by 2 points or less. And the struggles on the foul line definitely affected them in those games. Nice dump off downstairs to E.J. Jefferson. He's fighting for it, kept it alive. It was last touched, I believe, by Clarence Celius. But going forward, Brookdale will definitely have to try to improve on their foul line shooting. De Leon, he's fouled.
And the foul starting to become a factor here for Brookdale with 6 of them, and we're not even halfway through the second half.
Yeah, Passaic ran into a similar situation in the first. As Jeter De Leon, he misses his first attempt from the line. Averages around 8 points a game. This is a Passaic team that started off the season very hot, but have lost a couple of key games in the second half of the year. They lost to Ocean on December the 12th, 76-70, and then most recently on December 14th, they lost to Camden, 72-71. They are coming off of that big win against Union County on January 9th. But have lost a couple of games in the second half of the year. Smith open for a 3.
And Brookdale has done well when they've been given the opportunity to shoot the 3. A number of their attempts have been from pretty open looks, and they've taken advantage.
Canoe couldn't finish. Offensive rebound didn't go. And Brookdale now with a big lead at 10. We'll try to add to it here. Ozoji inside, off the window. Looked like he tipped it to himself, and he'll go to the line for 2. We'll check the number on Passaic. It's their 5th team foul. It's on E.J. Jefferson. That's his 2nd. And Alan Ozoji, the 6'8 freshman from Union, again at the line. Has a really big post presence, and as a result is one of the reasons why he shoots around 52% from the floor. Makes them both. 53-41, Brookdale in front. Passaic needs a basket.
And Passaic going with a slower tempo here. They were at their best earlier in this game, and they were moving it with Brookdale.
Brookdale wanted a push off there on that last possession. De Leon left it short. And Ozoji couldn't handle the football-style pass from Tyler Hawkins. Kaheem Williams checks back into the game for Jeter De Leon. And after a very energetic first half, Brian, it seems like Passaic has come out here in the second a little flat.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I thought early on they were doing a good job of matching Brookdale's intensity, matching their speed going up and down the floor as the Jersey Blues are going to take over here. And it looked as though these two teams were pretty evenly matched, but since then Brookdale's really gone on a run and hasn't looked back.
Timeout on the floor, 11:06 to play here in the second half. Brookdale in front, 53-41. We'll take it with them. Be back to the Collins Arena after this.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Moshberger. I'm professor of political science and co-chair honors at Brookdale. I also advise our History and Political Science Club as well as our Conquer Cancer Club. Education is truly important to me because I believe that education is empowering. And by receiving an excellent education, we offer doors of opportunities for ourselves and for our families. I seek to empower my students to be active and effective participants in our political process. You see, my course and all my courses in political science
Anthony Virgil on the sideline for Passaic. His team in a little bit of a hole right now, 53-41. Passaic and Brookdale were locked in a pretty close back-and-forth game in the first half, but as Brian was mentioning before we went away to the break, Panthers have come out in the second a little bit slow, a little bit flat, and Brookdale has been able to capitalize at this point. Still a long way to go. And the Jersey Blues have at times this year had difficulty closing out games, but they definitely are in control. It's Smith, Hawkins, Ozoji, Demir Fitch, and Clarence Celius on the floor for the Jersey Blues. Out of the timeout, Mark, Canoe, Caraballo, Williams, and Jefferson on the floor for Passaic. Celius trying to go reverse along the baseline, can't get it to go. Nice dump off downstairs to Williams, who lays it in. That quiets Brookdale for the moment. They still, though, trail. Passaic does by 10. And it looks like Jelani Carter hops off the bench. He'll come in for Brookdale at the next buzzer. Smith is rejected, but it'll stay here.
And Caraballo with the nice defensive play there. Getting over and help defense, knocking the shot out of bounds, force a re-inbounds here for Brookdale.
And Jelani Carter is now back on the floor. 18 to shoot. Ozoji at Caraballo, and he drains it.
And Ozoji really has a nice soft touch, shooting from about 10 to 15 feet from the basket.
And Brookdale once again leads by 12. A.J. Jefferson trying to post up downstairs on Ozoji. He's being denied. Shot clock is now at 9. Williams back to Mark. Brookdale in a zone defense. Mark with the floater. It somehow goes in the lane for Godly Mark. Carter dangerous from behind the three-point line. Instead, try to feed it into his team, and it's knocked away. And Mark again will lay it in.
Now, Mark has been an impressive player, and you mentioned with Passaic being down one of their best players in this game, and Silvera, he's had to shoulder some of the load, and Mark has been one of the bright spots for Passaic.
Quick 4 points for Godly Mark, and Passaic now starting to close back in ever so slightly. Ozoji and Williams fighting for it. Foul is called, and I believe this will be on Kaheem Williams. That's his third. So it's a sixth team foul on Passaic. Both teams now have 16 fouls. Dave Calloway has now checked into the game. He will inbound the basketball. Ozoji, a long two. This one is short. Knocked around. Calloway comes up with it. Goes right to the rim. He can't score. And Caraballo is able to track down the rebound. Mark again, and he's blocked, but a foul. This will be on Ozoji. That's his second. And now Brookdale is in the bonus with their 7th team foul. And Godly Mark, the 5'11 freshman from Westar, New Jersey, at the line now. Talked about how many points he averages a game. It's 18 on average for Mark. And enters this evening's matchup with 61 steals on the season, which is good enough for 8th best in NJCAA play. Passaic is within 6. Ozoji, a mid-range jumper. Calloway the rebound. That one didn't go. Brookdale going cold now, and Panthers are slowly trying to get back into the ball game. They've made some shots the last couple of minutes. Williams in the lane. Took his time, but went up too strong. Carter, the step back three is good.
Just good shooters. They just know their rhythm, and you see Carter knows exactly what he wants to do once he gets that pass. Take one dribble, find his spot, and nail it from three-point range.
58-49. Jersey Blues continue now to lead. They have led for this entirety of the second half. A jump ball is called as Canoe was denied by Tyler Hawkins, and the possession arrow points Brookdale's way. Hawkins. This time he can't get that three to go down. Too strong off the back iron, but it was tapped out by Passaic.
Even though Hawkins misses that jumper, look at how much airspace he had before he released it. Passaic is just allowing way too many open looks. It's been a big reason for their downfall.
There's Carter, who's also had the hot hand from behind the arc. Callaway, a give and go to Hawkins. Count it and one.
Tell you, the other thing Hawkins brings, it's kind of an intangible, as you see there, gets the basket and the foul, but he plays with a competitive fire about him. There's just an extra energy and extra boost for this Brookdale team now that he has joined them.
Usman Kanu there with the foul. That's his second, and now Passaic is in the bonus with 17 fouls. And Tyler Hawkins, again, the 6'4 sophomore from Tinton Falls, completes the three-point play, and the Jersey Blues lead 61-49. Passaic needs some type of an answer here. Kanu high off the window, no. Tapped around and Hawkins comes up with it. Carter, this one is unbelievably for Carter again in the corner. He didn't even set his feet, but he drains it.
There's just no hesitation whatsoever, and that ball just nothing but net.
Brookdale is feeling it on both sides of the ball, and Anthony Virgil will call a timeout. It's a 30-second timeout for the Panthers. I mentioned earlier, Passaic has not beaten Brookdale in this building in over 7 years. So it is a streak that the Panthers are desperately trying to break. And keep in mind, Brookdale has lost 2 of the last 3 games to the Panthers as a whole. Of course, those 2 losses came on the road up at Passaic. And that was one of Brookdale's early losses this season. And for the Panthers, this is the beginning of a 5-game road trip. They had a game against Atlantic Cape the other night that was canceled. But they have Brookdale tonight. They go on the road on January 18th to play Rowan Gloucester. Then on the road at Valley Forge on the 23rd, at Salem on the 25th. Their next home game is not until Middlesex on the 28th. And we know how difficult of a building this is to play in. Brian, over the years, we've seen a lot of teams struggle against the Jersey Blues here at home.
I mean, we've seen years where they've gone undefeated here at the Collins Arena. So Brookdale always so tough. They lost a couple of very close decisions early on in the season, but like we talked about, they're playing their best basketball now.
2-3 zone being shown here by the Panthers. Carter, very dangerous from behind the three-point line, drives in the lane instead, and it's taken away by Jefferson. Jefferson to Mark, an offensive foul. And Mark looks like he might be a little bit hurt as he went down awkwardly. I don't know, that looked awfully close to me. I don't know if Callaway had set his feet completely. But it is called an offensive foul on Godley Mark. That's his second. And he hobbles off and will go to the bench. As Jeter De Leon will go in. Carter to Fitch, and that's a travel.
All in all, though, I think you'd have to say this is one of Brookdale's better games of the season. It's been a complete effort outside of the first couple minutes where they were trying to find their rhythm. Since then, though, this has been about as well as that they played offensively.
Out of bounds, it'll go back to Passaic, or excuse me, to the Jersey Blues. 6:03 to play. Brookdale leads 64-49. Alan Ozoji being worked on by the athletic trainer here at Brookdale, Pete Fusco, on the trainer's table. He has both of his shoes off and is being worked on, so that's a story that we'll keep our eyes on. He's, at the moment, not able to come in. Hawkins into the corner. Callaway, a three. This one too strong. And a rebound is tapped out to De Leon. And De Leon nearly threw it away. Williams. Shot clock at 10. Knocked away here by Fitch. And Godly Mark will check back into the game. So whatever was ailing him was not anything serious as he's back on the floor. It's Mark, De Leon, Williams, Canoe, and Jefferson. Shot clock at 3. Mark to the lane, and a foul before the shot. And this will be a 1-and-1 upcoming for Godly Mark. We'll check the number. This is on Tyler Hawkins, so that's his second. And as I mentioned, now Tyler Mark at the line for a 1-and-1. Or Godly Mark, rather. Foul was on Tyler Hawkins. He'll check out of the game. DeAndre Smith now is on the floor for Brookdale. Mark hits the first one from the line.
I think Brookdale wanted the basketball there, not realizing it was a 1-and-1 situation.
Mark makes them both. It's a 13-point game. So the Panthers not quite out of this one yet, but they will have to be efficient from this point moving forward. Smith tries to go 1-on-1 with Canoe, left it up there and left it just a bit short.
Boy, Smith has an explosive first step as he gets to the basket. Couldn't finish that one.
Mark goes around Callaway and lays it in.
Speaking of explosive, that's what Mark just displayed there, getting to the basket with ease.
Callaway being guarded now by Mark. Callaway tries to do the same thing that Mark just did to him, and he draws the foul. And the foul will be assessed to Jeter De Leon, and that is his fourth. So Dave Callaway, the 6-foot sophomore from Neptune, New Jersey. I haven't talked about Dave too much this year. He's seen more playing time the last couple of games. Remember, he played 11 games last year at the D1 level as a freshman for Monmouth. And his father, Dave, was the head coach at Monmouth from 1998 to 2011. He took that team to 5 NCAA tournaments. Callaway can't get either one to drop from the foul line. It's still an 11-point game. Panthers trying to cut into that deficit. Mark again. Blocked away from behind by Wilson. Jefferson threw it up there, and Fitch finally able to secure it. A lot of contact downstairs both ways, no call. Wilson nearly along the baseline, and Callaway is able to put it in after the feed from Beyond Wilson.
Yeah, really nice passing there, finding Callaway able to get the roll on that shot from in close.
And it goes off of the foot of Usman Canoe.
I don't know how Wilson saw Callaway cutting to the basket there as he was right along the boundary. That just made it more impressive, finding him on that bounce pass.
Tyrese Bryant now back on the floor along with Tyler Hawkins. Brookdale looking to close this one out as we're under 4 minutes to play. Carter, who has been unbelievably unconscious from behind the three-point line. That one does not go. And Fitch keeping it alive. He is fouled. So you have to credit Brookdale especially in the second half, crashing the boards and going after the rebounds. As the 6'5" freshman from Hoboken, Demir Fitch, at the line for a two-shot foul. Foul was on E.J. Jefferson. That was his third. And speaking of talented players, Fitch is one of those players, Brian, that has a lot of talent, can come off of the bench really at any time and give this entire offense a really good, solid couple of minutes, quietly contributes to the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, he's another guy who's gotten more minutes here lately. Didn't see a lot of in the first 5 or 10 games of the season, but like Callaway, has shown what he's been able to do and earning the trust of the coaching staff, allowing him to play more minutes.
Williams nearly put the ball on the floor, triple teamed, and a turnover. Stolen away by Fitch. Carter to Wilson with the layup.
And a great pass from Carter, as you see here. Get a second look at it. No hesitation as he releases it with two hands and the easy bucket.
Another turnover there for the Panthers as things continue to unravel here in the second half. After such an electric first half, it's been a completely different story here in the second.
I know you really had the crowd be a factor in the first half, and because the game has been not really in the balance, they haven't had as much to cheer about, not as many close plays, shots that make the game closer, as it's been about a 15-point Brookdale lead for a while.
Mark count the basket and one as he's fouled on his way to the rim. Foul is on Tyrese Bryant. That's his first. And the 9th team foul now for the Jersey Blues as Mark will try to complete the three-point play, and he does. So Godly Mark has had a very nice night. I think you mentioned it a moment ago, Brian, been one of the bright spots for the Panthers in what has been a dismal second half for them, but nonetheless a pretty good showing on the side for Godly Mark.
Yeah, he's been their leading scorer, picking up in the absence of Gabe Silvera.
And a timeout will be taken by Brookdale with 2:25 to play here in the second half. The Jersey Blues have a commanding lead. Full timeout on the floor. We'll take a break and come back to the Collins Arena next.
I've been here for 2 years, a number of years at night working as an adjunct. I have a master's degree in industrial education. My ASEs have been valid for about 25 years. I'm a fully certified master technician, which enables me to teach any number of the courses here. I teach everything from brakes to auto.
Back here in the Collins Arena, 2:25 to play here in the ball game. Jersey Blues lead the Passaic County Panthers 69-56. Alongside Brian Goudsworth, I, of course, am Tim Kettlefam with the rest of our BTV crew with the doubleheader this evening. Passaic County women that are ranked 13th in the nation on the Division III side of the basketball were able to very handily beat Brookdale earlier this evening. And an offensive foul on Tyler Hawkins. Wow. As he was being guarded very closely by Canoe. Maybe a little bit of an acting job there, but nonetheless there was some contact that went either way.
Well,
and that has the Brookdale bench up in arms.
Yeah, and I was going to say, needless to say, Paul Chizek very upset, vehemently disagreeing with that call.
Tipped in there by E.J. Jefferson. But as I was saying, the Passaic County women had a commanding win over the Brookdale Jersey Blues. The men's basketball team on the Jersey Blues side, though, trying to close this one out. Count the basket and the foul for Tyler Hawkins. Hawkins getting into the lane, and I'm not sure who you call the foul on there. They're going to call it on Kaheem Williams. That's his fourth. Passaic is maxed out with team fouls. They're at 10, along with the Jersey Blues, so foul shots for the rest of the way. And I mentioned, this is Tyler Hawkins' second game, only his second game this year, Brian. But You would never know it. He's worked his way right into the starting rotation for the Jersey Blues. He had 20 points against Bergen the other night in his first game this season, and we don't have an official number on how many points that Tyler Hawkins has in this ball game so far, but he is right at that threshold, definitely for sure.
Yeah, he's had another big performance, and I'll tell you, it's a welcoming sight for this Jersey Blue team to get him back a part of things for the second semester. Adds a lot as far as offense, defense, everything he's capable of doing on the basketball floor.
Kaheem Williams picked up his 5th foul, so he's now fouled out of the game for Passaic. As Jelani Carter continues to pad his impressive night as well from the foul line. Had several threes.
Yeah, it's been another impressive shooting night from Carter.
Makes them both. Mateo Del Moro checks into the game for the first time for the Jersey Blues. First time we've seen Mateo in a long time. First time, I believe, this calendar year. He's on the floor as Brookdale trying to make sure that everyone has some playing time. There's Mateo, the 6-foot freshman from Cliffwood Beach. Foul is on Demir Fitch, that's his 4th. And Usman Kanu at the line. It's going to be a tough loss for Passaic tonight, Brian. Obviously a very strong first half, and remember at one point Passaic had a 25-16 lead, and it looked like at that point that Passaic had command of the game, but they kind of lost track. They had a couple of turnovers really at the hands of Tyler Hawkins, who caused a lot of those turnovers in the first half, allowed Brookdale to get back into the game, and second half really has been all about the Jersey Blues.
Yeah, I think that's where you look at this game and where it turned. You mentioned a 9-point lead at that point. Brookdale quickly answered with a 9-0 run to get even. Eventually took the lead as Hawkins called for a travel despite the fancy move there to the basket. But since they've gotten the lead, Passaic has run out of answers. They just haven't been able to play with Brookdale here in the second half. They've taken off, and another strong performance from the Jersey Blues.
Jefferson had it blocked away by Carter, and Hawkins gets it up to Jelani now. Jersey Blues looking for their 8th win this year. Del Moro doesn't get the roll.
Brookdale bench jumping up and down in anticipation of Del Moro scoring.
Yeah, Del Moro trying to get on the board for the first time tonight. Fitch is able to put in an easy 2. And Mark over to De Leon, and he walked. So Passaic looks like they are going to fall to 11-8 this year, 10-7 in conference play, whereas Brookdale will pick up their 6th win in a row. So they will improve to 8-5 on the year, 7-5 in the region. And they will continue this hot streak. They got to go back at it again tomorrow night, though, as Middlesex will come in here, one of the top teams in the region. Shot clock at 3. And that will be a shot clock violation for Jersey Blues. They were trying to get it over to Mateo Del Moro and ran out of time.
Trying to get him to get on the stat sheet scoring-wise. They'll have to wait perhaps till the next game.
De Leon from the corner. As Carter and Canoe run into each other, no foul. This will be a big win for Brookdale. It'll be their 6th win in a row, taking down Passaic County tonight, 75-59. Their 6th win in a row. So obviously some post-game frustrations on that side. Passaic obviously frustrated with the way that the game concluded, but nonetheless, a big win for the Jersey Blues tonight. I mentioned they take down Passaic County, and we talked about this was a close game in the first half. Brookdale only led by 4 at the halftime break, but Passaic just really kind of unraveled in the second half. They turned the ball over a lot, and they really just came out flat. That was something that you and I noticed up here in the broadcast booth. The energy was not there. They weren't making their shots, and Brookdale definitely took full advantage of that in the second half.
Yeah, it was a fall-off for Passaic from the first half to the second half. Early on, they were matching the intensity of Brookdale. They looked like they belonged playing with Brookdale. It was a close game. As we talked about, they even had a lead earlier on, but then Brookdale goes on that run and never looks back. And you know, we don't want to talk about the end of the game there with Passaic getting frustrated, but for the Jersey Blues, it was just about getting the three-point shooting going, and I think that's when they're at their best, when they're getting points off turnovers, and when they can add being lethal from three-point range, then they're really tough to beat because they have multiple ways to beat you offensively. And we talk about this team has found their stride now. It's 6 straight wins. They're playing their best basketball this season and look like they're really ready to take off.
And, of course, Tyler Hawkins, a very successful night for him. We talked about only his second game back this year, joining the Jersey Blues roster very late. But it was really, in addition to Hawkins, Jelani Carter, I think, was the most impressive player that stood out to me tonight, knocking down those threes really at critical times in the game.
Yeah, both of those two in the backcourt. Hawkins in only his second game, but Carter, once he gets a rhythm, you just can't stop him. And he gets the basketball, he wants to do one thing, shoot it. And it doesn't matter how far away it is, he's shown he can make it from anywhere on the floor and will be a big factor going forward for Brookdale.
So Brookdale again is victorious tonight over Passaic County. They win their 6th game in a row. And as far as going forward, the Jersey Blues, both the men and the women, will be back at it tomorrow night in, less than 24 hours from now. They'll take on Middlesex County, a tough team on both sides of the basketball. Those games will be at 5 and 7 p.m. tomorrow night live here on Brookdale TV. So for our entire BTV staff, and of course my broadcast partner Brian Goudsward, I am Tim Catalfamo. Brookdale victorious. They win their 6th game in a row and take down Passaic County tonight in the Collins Arena. We'll see you tomorrow night when the Jersey Blues take on Middlesex County. Have a great night from the Collins Arena in Lincroft, New Jersey.
Okay, let's go on an adventure. Have you ever seen Up? Because if you have, I feel like this club will be really good for you. Let's hear more about Adventure Bound. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So what's your title in Adventure Bound?
So I am the president of Adventure Bound.
Oh my gosh. So tell me, as president, why do you think students should join Adventure Bound?
Students should join Adventure Bound because, first of all, it's a club where we go on trips. Like, that is the goal of the trip, of the club. We go on different trips. Kayaking, snowboarding, whatever it is, skiing, ziplining, we've been on it. And it's also a great club to make new friends. Like, I made so many of my close friends through Adventure Bound.
That's so amazing. And I think one of the things that's so great about this club is, as students, you're constantly in the classroom, you're constantly in the books. What a better way to, like, get a break than to be out in the nature.
Exactly. And, like, all right, even if you're a beginner, it's your first time hiking or it's your first time snowboarding, whatever it is, we will encourage you to make new friends and to, kind of step outside your comfort zone,
Yes. I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh, what's up? We have vice president of this club, which is the Alpha, wait, how do you say it?
Alpha Pi Theta.
Alpha Pi Theta. It is an honor society, PTK. I think I